You know, something that I'm realizing that I've been wanting to talk about for a while? It's the fact that a lot of people are constantly in this sort of mindset or this state where they're just completely uncertain and keep trying to like delude themselves into being happy. And it's honestly fucking sad to watch. Like, it makes you feel on the outside when you can see their life barreling down ahead of them, what's going to happen, you know, the next week, after the next week, as they go back and forth. It just, you pity them a little bit because you're like, well, you say this today, but you're going to come back to me next week and be sad again. Going to come back to me the week after and contradict yourself again. And I see it on TV. I talk to people in real life. You see YouTubers do this where they act like everything that they're doing at the time is good, and then you'll see them like 6 months later saying that period during their life they were just full of themselves and deluding themselves, or sooner. It's just everywhere. And I was trying to think of how I felt about it in a way where I could actually relay it in a video. So I'm going to do my best to do that today. But the truth is, I have noticed that they're trying to make themselves happy. What they don't realize is that you're not supposed to be happy all the fucking time. You're not supposed to be happy most of the time. That's not how happiness works. I understand that some people are just full of happiness or whatever. That's debatable. We could explain that away with a bunch of other things like thrill and excitement and all this other shit. Or they're just keeping their mind busy. Or they could be happy, but they could be fucking boring. There's so many conversations I could have about those people, okay? But the point is, most people are not supposed to be happy. Most people are fucking poor and suffering. And if you're poor and suffering and you're trying to make yourself happy, you're like crazy. And I'm saying that because what people don't realize is that if you're trying to be happy 24/7 or as much as possible, you're a drug addict, okay? Like, you do realize that drugs release the same thing into your brain as happiness. Life is just not meant to be like that. Like, life is not this splendid wonderland where we're just in this utopia. You just think, what, you think there's something beyond happiness? That's it. That's the standard, okay? What do you think you're supposed to feel on vacation versus how you feel today? Shouldn't you feel even more pleasant? So why are you trying to just be in this euphoric kind of like headspace all the time? It doesn't make sense to me. You see people every day who fall between optimism and pessimism, happiness and sadness, religion and nihilism, these extremes. And I want to talk about absolutism so fucking bad. There's so many words that I want to use in my videos, but I don't, because I know that people don't use them on a regular basis. But there's these extremes that people fall under. A lot of people view the world in extremes and don't look at the nuance. And it's like, it's okay to be happy sometimes or to want to be happier than you are. That's fine. But just be honest with yourself and accept, I want to be happy and I'm not. And I want to look at these little things and be thankful for all the things I have, because I know people have it worse than me, but I still feel like shit. Guess what? That's fine. You're not living those fucking people's lives and they're not living yours. You want to know something that's funny? Sometimes people who have a shittier life than you think that your life is shittier than theirs. So by your own logic, does that mean you're meant to feel shitty? No. Just like how you're not meant to feel better just because someone's life is worse. You just feel the way you fucking feel. And all the fucking idiots out there who say everything's a mindset, you're in control of your mind, then why haven't you fucking cured world hunger and poverty and fixed all the fucking climate change and everything? If it's all just a mindset, why didn't you save the world yet, you lazy bum? You know, I don't have time for those fucking idiots today. Or ever, honestly. They can just all shut the fuck up and continue to read their self-help books and listen to the motivational speeches and all that bullshit, pretending that they've like got it all together in their fucking head as if they're not snorting cocaine and drinking every night. Point is, if you are somebody who is getting through every fucking day and you can't appreciate that, that's fine. If you are somebody who is taking care of your bills and you're not in debt and you still feel like crap, that's fine. What you should be doing is trying to see why you feel like crap and trying to make yourself feel like less crap, because that's all that we can do. We cannot live in a constant state of happiness unless we're mentally ill, and that comes with other side effects, things that people would not wish for or wish to be perceived as. You don't even realize it in their head they're happy. And isn't that what people care about so much anyway, how they're remembered and all that shit? So just try to make yourself feel better, because that's what we can do. If I feel like crap today and I realize that it's because of this thing that's something that I can change, then I will change that thing so that I feel better today. If I can't change it today, but I realize, oh, it'll take me about 3 weeks to change it, then spend 3 weeks trying to change it. And if you don't commit to that change for those 3 weeks, remember that you're still alive. So try again. As you've seen on my channel, there's been some videos people have taken heavily out of fucking context. And you know what I did? I tried again. And it didn't even dawn on me to do that, because with a lot of these fucking YouTubers, when people take them out of context, they just have to apologize or address it. But no, I said, you know what? I'm gonna make the same video. I'm gonna make the same topic, address it again, address it better this time, and it made me feel better. I will defend myself. You can always try again. So no matter what it is that you keep in mind when you're feeling bad, and as long as you see a path forward, try to go towards that path as many attempts as it takes. Because if you're gonna be here anyway, you might as well try. So overall, my point is, you're not meant to be happy. No one's meant to just live in happiness, okay? I could sit here and list statistics for you. I don't feel like doing that today. I'm just doing a little talking video today. But you can look things up and read things. There's such thing as positive stress that helps you. It makes you stronger, gives you more resilience. You can learn things from negative situations all the time. You can learn something from anything, right? So of course you learn things from negative situations. You learn how to avoid them. You learn how to stand against them so that they don't overcome you in the future. There's always these takeaways, and that doesn't mean that you have to constantly look for the positive in everything, because I know that's the first thing people are going to misunderstand about what I'm saying. By doing that, you're missing the point. By always looking for the positive, that's you once again chasing this fucking happiness and you being a drug addict again. The point that I'm making is, it's okay to feel sad and learn something while feeling sad. You learning something doesn't mean that you're gonna be like, I feel great now, at least I learned how to fucking deal with those assholes. No, like those assholes made you feel like crap, you embarrassed yourself, or they took something from you and you missed the thing that they took. Yeah, you learned your lesson, but you can feel like crap for right now. You want to fucking watch a show or just like wallow in it for the day, then you fucking do that. And you pick yourself up and you keep going. It's fine. I've learned a lot of fucking lessons from all the shit that I've been through in my life. It is okay to feel like crap. So I just feel kind of like it's just depressing watching people constantly talk about how they're living their best life. Another example, one very common example that I've been seeing during my entire gap, are these people who get these plastic surgeries on themselves for all this fucking money, and they're talking about how they're great, they're beautiful, they've always been beautiful, they're perfect, they've always been perfect, they're living their best life, and then they still get more surgery. And it's like, well, then you weren't happy, you weren't perfect, you weren't beautiful in your own eyes, and because you keep deluding yourself, you're not even thinking about the choices that you're making, you're getting these surgeries that are making you look worse, because then they look uncanny, they're not happy with it, they see the uncanniness, so then they try to go fix it. Plastic surgery for most people is not at a point where you can look like a doll unless you already have the facial structure where that doll-like look works for you. The point is, these people will just convince themselves that they're happy with their life and they're just so great, and they'll go get the surgery because in the back of their head they're just like, well, that'll make me happier. It's like, no, you're unhappy and that's okay. Oh my god, I'm just saying, think things through. People just don't think, and they're risking their lives for what? To get these weird like butts and stuff that just, it's not healthy, it doesn't feel good, it's excruciating pain. I just don't get it. But it comes from people not thinking things through. and chasing happiness. A lot of people really just need to sit down and face themselves and accept themselves and then try to help themselves. And I feel like if people chase themselves more, they'd be a lot better off than chasing happiness. If they looked at all the decisions in their life and was like, I've come so far, wouldn't you feel a lot better than looking at your life and thinking, oh my God, like these things haven't happened yet? If you looked at yourself and you look back at situations that you survived, would that not give you that appreciative feeling that you're looking for? So why not do that? Because every single time you go through something bad, there's a chance for you to do that, to learn more about yourself. That's where people should fucking be. I'm not saying you need to act like me or anything. There's plenty of people out there who want to find solutions who don't talk like me. But I'm just saying, I'd much rather see people doing that and struggling than struggling to be something that they'll never be. With all that being said, you will never be in a constant state of happiness, but you can constantly reflect on your life. So why everyone chooses to do the former over the latter 24/7 makes no sense to me. If you were someone who every year, every 6 months, every month, every day, every hour is like, I hate myself and I love myself, my life is great, my life sucks, this is the best years of my life, these are the worst years of my life, oh, I'm just gonna be as happy as possible. Well, if it hasn't worked for you this far, maybe it's time to try something else. Maybe it's time to just face your reality, accept yourself, and accept that we are not meant to be happy. We're meant to adapt. That is the point of life. It's so funny how people think that like there's this enlightenment out there where they'll reach this one point of the peak of their life. And they seem to completely be oblivious to the fact that life is endlessly changing. There are new developments every day that change everything that we know how to do and everything that we've learned so far. And then we have to adapt. There are certain points in history where behaving a certain way or looking at things a certain way was necessary. And then that changes the world. So that outlook and that type of behavior is no longer necessary. Then the world changes again. And then you have to do it again in a different way. Like, that's life. And so if we were meant to be happy, that's just one way of behaving and one way of feeling about things, right? So then nothing in the world would change. That's very unrealistic and it's just not going to happen. So do your best. It's not easy, but again, as long as you're alive, as long as you're here, you might as well try. Whether you're happy or not, take every lesson that you can from your experience. Review the same experiences over and over again, because remember, when you watch a TV show or a movie for the second time, you notice all kinds of shit that you missed the first time. What the fuck do you think is gonna happen to your life? You know how long your life is in comparison to that shit? And you think reviewing a traumatic experience or some bad experience or just the bad day that you had is going to be enough for you to get all the information you needed from it? No, like you could view a movie 10 times and only notice something 3 of those 10 times, then watch it the 11th time and be like, oh, I never noticed that. What about your life? You know, and I'm not saying you constantly have to learn something. I'm never trying to give you an extreme. Saying keep in mind that if you got some fucking free time and you feel like thinking about the bad stuff that happened to you, then embrace it. You'll be better off, man. If you don't agree, and you keep chasing this happy bullshit, come back to me tomorrow or a year from now and tell me how many times you went back and forth on that shit and tell me how that's working out for you. That's all I got to say for today. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.